for telling me about the human body.
You're welcome.
It's quite interesting. Actually, the robot which I'm building, I want to make it more like the human body. Can you help me?
Yes, sure, I can. What do you want me to do?
I want you to teach me all about the human body so that I can work on it and make it more like us.
Well, then we will have to go into my lab.
Lab? But you never let us into your lab.
Well, you're trying to build a robot and that is a lab experiment. Then where else do we go? And more importantly, my lab is a special lab. So let's go there.
Yay! I don't see anything special in this lab.
Oh, this lab is special. Take a look.
Whoa, what is all this?
Well, all of what you see here is information about the human body. Not only that, this is my lab. I call this Darwin, and this is a smart lab. What that means is, if I want anything to come on the screen, Darwin will be able to get it there. Let me show you. Darwin, why don't you get the human lungs there?
Whoa, cool.
Well, if you want to understand about the human body, you will need to know the basics of how the human body works.
I know the basics. We need to sleep for 8 hours to refresh ourselves for the next day. If I want to walk, I will move my legs. If I want to pick up something, then I'll use my hands.
Well, you're almost there. But how do you know that you have legs? And how does your legs know when they're supposed to start moving for you to start walking? And when you want to pick up something, how does your hand know how far away it is? And also, how heavy that something is when you lift it up?
I don't know. I see it.
Well, we humans have some fundamental things. And these fundamental things are very, very important to us. And without these fundamental things, we would not be intelligent at all. Do you want to take a guess as to what these fundamental things are that I'm talking about?
The brain?
Well, the brain is very, very important. Without the brain, you will not be able to see, talk, or even think about anything. But the brain also requires information to come to it from all over the body. The information that the brain gets is what we call as senses. Senses are things that we humans use to interact with the outside world.
I don't understand it.
Let me explain. Catch this ball. How were you able to catch that ball?
Because I saw it coming towards me.
Hold that thought. Now, taste this food.
But where is the food?
Oh, sorry. Darwin? There you go. Sometimes Darwin is late, but that's the food. Please taste it.
But we were talking about senses, right?
Yes, I will be able to explain to you how the senses work. But first, taste this food.
Okay. It smells good, but it's very spicy.
How did you know that it was spicy?
Because I just tasted it.
Hold that thought too. Now, why don't you touch both these cubes and tell me how hot or cold it is?
Ouch, this is so hot. And this is cold.
How did you know that this was hot and this was cold?
Because I just touched it.
Hold that thought too. Darwin, why don't you clear this? Thanks, Darwin. Now, for one final thing.
What's that?
What's what?
That noise, can't you hear it?
Well, how did you know that there was so much noise around?
Because I just heard it.
Hold that thought too. All the things that you just experienced now, that was because of your senses.
No, I didn't use any senses. I just saw and caught the ball, smelled and tasted the food, touched the hot and the cold cubes, and finally I heard that loud noise.
Well, exactly. Those were your senses. When you saw and caught the ball, that was the sense of sight. Then you smelt the food. That was the sense of smell. When you tasted it, you used the sense of taste. And then when you touched the hot and the cold cubes, that was your sense of touch. And finally, when you heard that noise, that was the sense of hearing, or the sense of sound. Now, all of these five things, that was seeing, smelling, tasting, hearing, and touching, form your senses. And these senses are what makes you interact with the world around you. Now, imagine, what if these senses were not there?
Oh, if these senses weren't there, then we couldn't know that who are we? Where are we? How could we look? Oh my gosh, that's so scary.
Yes, I agree. It is actually going to be scary. But before we move on, can you recollect all the five senses that we have?
Yeah, they are sight, smell,
Correct.
taste,
Perfect.
touch, and hear.
Perfect. These are our five senses. Now, can you also tell me which body parts do you use to sense these senses?
I would use the nose to smell, the eyes to see, my skin to feel, my tongue to taste, and my ears to hear.
Perfect. These five things that you spoke about, that is your eyes, your nose, your tongue, the skin, and the ear, form something called the sense organs.
Wait, I know what is sense now, but what do you mean by an organ?
Well, our body is made up of a lot of organs. For me to explain that, let me take an example. Do you know that the blood is flowing all through the body? Well, do you know how the blood is flowing through it?
I have heard that the heart pumps the blood throughout the body.
Perfect. Do you know how the heart functions? Well, let me explain. Darwin, that happens to be the smallest functional unit in the body.
The cell?
Perfect. The cell. Now, this particular cell that you see is a heart muscle cell. And I'm getting specific here. It's a heart muscle cell. Many of these cells form the heart muscle tissue. These muscles contract and relax, as you're able to see here, to enable the beating of the heart, which in turn pumps blood to all parts of the body. Now, the heart always does not beat at the same pace, right? You probably would have noticed that there is rapid pumping of your heart when you are running fast. In contrast, when you are resting, the heart beats much slower. So, the pace of the heartbeat varies depending on your physical activity. But the question is, who tells the heart how fast or slow to beat? Well, this is of course done by the brain, which sends signals through these tissues that you see here. And this tissue in turn regulates the speed of the heartbeat. This heartbeat is in fact what makes us stay alive. And obviously, staying alive is very important, right? The heart is clearly a very important organ for us to protect. So, it makes a lot of sense to give it some protection, right? So, this tissue that you see here forms a protective covering around the heart to protect it from physical damage. So, the heart, which is an organ, in essence, is made up of all of these different kinds of tissues.
Whoa! So when the heart beats, it's only because of all the different tissues working together?
That's right. The organ, in this case, the heart, is made up of a bunch of different tissues that you saw out here. And each of these tissues are made up of a group of similar cells. Now, it's time for a fun fact about the heart. The heart beats about 100,000 times in a day. That works out to be more than 2.5 billion times throughout your life. That's a lot of beating, right? Now, moving on. In effect, each organ is like an instrument in the human body that has a specific function to do. In fact, the word organ is actually coming from a Greek word, organon, which means tool or instrument.
Like, if we suppose this remote is an organ, so this LED light, all these buttons, and the outer covering are all tissues.
Exactly.
So how many organs do we have in the human body?
Oh, there are a lot of organs. There are so many organs in the human body. In fact, just take a part of the body that has a specific function to carry out, and it's most probably an organ. The liver is an organ, the brain is an organ, the kidneys, the stomach, the pancreas, the eyes, the nose, the ears, all of these are organs.
Whoa! The human body is so fascinating.
Yes, it is. Now that you know about the different senses and different sense organs, it's time for us to start our actual tour. Now, for the actual tour, you will need a human body to explore, right? I know that. Darwin, why don't you make a human body for us to explore? Now, it's time for business. To explore this human body, we will need something, right? Follow me.
Das is a group of similar cells and Das is a group of tissues that carry out a specialized function. तो Das group का होगा cell. No. पहले Das is a group, cell नहीं, organ is a organ और Das is a group of tissues, cell. No, this is wrong. A tissue is a group of similar cells and an organ is a group of tissues carrying out a specialized function. When organ works together, they form organ system. Organ system keep the body regulated and in a stable state. All organ system together make up an organization. Which of the following are organs? 1. eye, stomach, lungs, and kidney or liver. Body in course. It is again.
My body does not feel right. There's something chaotic going on inside.
We are cells and we are lost. Put us back where we belong. Yay! This is where I belong. Yay! This is where I belong. Yay! We look alike and do the same job. Put together we become a tissue. Yay! This is where I belong. Yay! We look alike and do the same job. Put together we become a tissue. I am different from the one next to me. Yay! We look alike and do the same job. Put together we become a tissue. I am different from the other two. We are tissues and we are lost. Put us back where we belong. Yay! This is where I 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 belong. Yay! We don't look alike, but we hang out together to perform a common function. We're organs, and we are lost. Put us back where we belong. Yay! This is where I belong. Yay! This is where I belong. Yay! This is where I belong. Oh no! This is not where I belong. Try again. Yay! This is where I belong. Yay! This is where I belong. Yay! We don't look alike, but we work together to perform one big function.
Congratulations! You've just returned these lost souls to where they belong. Similar cells together make up a tissue. Different tissues make up an organ. Different organs together make up an organ system.
Many cells, tissue. Many tissues, organ. Many organs, organ system. Now, concept research. ओके, इसको हम लोग स्किप कर देते हैं. स्वाइप योर हार्ट आउट, ये क्वेश्चन है. The heart is the organ that pumps blood in a human body. True or false? Yes, it is true. Your heart beats faster when you walk than when you run. What is the answer? Yes, it is true. No, it is false. Arrange the following in the increase order and flex. Organ. Okay. Okay. Cells, tissues, organ and organ system. Cells are the basic units of all living organisms. Many similar cells come together to form tissues. Tissues performing a specialized function from an organ. Many organs from an organ system, and all organ systems together from entry organism. Now, completing the launch schemes. ये एक क्वेश्चन वीडियो है.
This is my latest invention, the Nano Explorer 2.0. You're going to love this. This is the most cutting edge technology that we humans have come up with. Let's not waste any time and get into the Explorer.
Yeah.
Darwin, help me open this.
Whoa! How did everything become so big outside?
Well, that did not become big. We became small. Really, really small.
Oh God.
Well, let's not waste time. Let's go.
तो दोस्तों सब्सक्राइब कीजिए, लाइक कीजिए और बाकी सबको शेयर कीजिए. बाय बाय.